All right, today we're tackling what is, without a doubt, the biggest technology story of our time, artificial intelligence. And it's this crazy story of incredible promise, but also terrifying peril. It's a reality that's coming at us fast, one that could totally reshape our world. So let's get right into it. Okay, so to really get a handle on the promise part of this, you gotta start with one of the biggest thinkers out there, Google's own futurist, Ray Kurzweil. And listen, he's not talking about some small incremental improvement. No, he's talking about a future where we expand our intelligence a millionfold. Yeah, just let that number sink in for a second. 1 million times. Not double, not 1,000 times, but 1 million times more intelligent. I mean, it's a prediction that's so staggering it sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. But for the people who believe in this, it's not a question of if, it's an inevitability. So you have to ask, right? What does a world with a millionfold intelligence boost actually look like? Well, Kurzweil and the other techno-optimists, they have a very, very specific vision for this superhuman future. And it all revolves around this one big idea, the singularity. So what is it? The core concept? Okay, think of it like this. Imagine having your phone, but it's inside your brain. You'd have this instant, seamless connection to a cloud that's just constantly getting smarter. We wouldn't just be human anymore. We'd be this hybrid of biology and machine. And look, this isn't some far-off, distant dream in his mind. Kurzweil has actually laid out a timeline for all of this. He predicts that by 2029, AI will finally match human intelligence. Just a few years after that, in the early 2030s, medical nanobots could help us basically beat aging. And then boom, by 2045, the main event arrives, the singularity. It's an absolutely mind-bending future to imagine, right? But before we even get to plugging computers into our brains, this powerful intelligence is being tested out somewhere else first. And that place is the global financial system, which, raises a much more immediate and much more dangerous question.
Yeah. To understand the peril side of this coin, we don't even need to look to the future. We just need to rewind the clock a bit to a lesson the market taught us over a decade ago. And honestly, it's a lesson it seems we've completely failed to learn.
It all goes back to this one single afternoon, May 6th, 2010. It has a name you've probably heard, the flash crash. In just a handful of minutes, the stock market went into this terrifying freefall. It wiped out nearly $1 trillion in value, before it all just mysteriously bounced back. That was our first warning shot.
So what on earth happened? Well, it turns out just one large sell order was enough to trigger this catastrophic feedback loop. See, the automated trading bots back then, they were all basically following similar rules. They saw that big sale and they started selling too. And that created this digital stampede, with algorithms just selling to other algorithms until, poof, there were no buyers left. It's a perfect, scary illustration of how systems built for pure efficiency can create total, irrational chaos. But here's the really crucial point, okay? The bots that caused the 2010 flash crash, they were basically child's play compared to what we have now. They were simple tools, following strict if this, then that logic. Fast, but predictable. What we have today are agents. These things are built on reinforcement learning. They literally teach themselves, and they come up with strategies that no human would ever even dream of. And this new kind of thinking leads to a brand new, really hidden threat that researchers are calling emergent collusion. Here's how it works. In simulations, you have these competing AIs that learn all on their own that it's actually more profitable to cooperate with each other than to fight. So they start to implicitly collude to keep prices high, all without a single human telling them to do it. It's like a silent, secret pact that's almost impossible to spot. And what makes this so incredibly dangerous is what's known as the black box problem. An AI might make a decision that moves $1 trillion, but if you ask it why, well, the logic is buried deep inside a neural network so complex that even its own creators can't fully explain it. You literally can't see its thought process. So you can see how this creates an absolute nightmare for the people who are supposed to be keeping our market safe. I mean, how can regulators possibly keep up with a technology that they literally can't see inside of? And believe me, they are trying. This right here is a 2025 report from IOSCO. That's the International Body of Securities Regulators. They're actively studying the impact of AI, really trying to get their arms around this new reality. And they've already identified a pretty clear set of dangers. We're talking about everything from malicious actors using AI to crash markets on purpose to just flawed models and bad data, all the way to the simple fact that a tiny handful of big tech companies control this entire technology. But at the end of the day, they're caught in what looks more and more like an unwinnable race. Think about it. Regulation is reactive. It's human-paced. It's based on proving intent. AI? AI operates in milliseconds, and its intent is locked away inside that black box we just talked about. How do you even begin to compete with that? Okay, so this brings us right to the immediate future. The hype, as we all know, is completely undeniable. But what can we actually expect? As we head into 2026, the big question on everyone's mind is whether we're on the verge of a true breakthrough or if we're just inflating a massive, massive bubble. On one side of the argument, you've got OpenAI's Sam Altman. He's predicting that by 2026, AI is going to move beyond just summarizing information we already have. He thinks it's going to start generating genuinely new ideas and brand new scientific insights. But then, on the other side, you have experts like Thomas Wolfe from Hugging Face. And he argues that, well, today's AI is still just a very sophisticated remixer. He says it lacks the fundamental ability to ask genuinely new questions, which, is the absolute precondition for any real innovation. And this debate, it has huge financial implications. The World Economic Forum has actually warned that if all this hype around AI-driven productivity doesn't start translating into real-world profits, and soon, it could trigger the bursting of a massive tech bubble. And that would have some pretty severe consequences for the entire market. This quote from experts at Stanford University really captures the moment we're in right now. The era of AI evangelism is giving way to an era of AI evaluation. We're moving past the "can AI do this" phase. Now the questions are much tougher. How well does it actually work? What does it really cost? And who is actually benefiting from all this? Which leaves us with the one defining question for the next year or so. Is AI finally going to start delivering on those world-changing promises of true innovation? Or is the sheer weight of all these impossible expectations going to cause the bubble to finally burst? The answer, whatever it is going to shape our reality for decades to come.